It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Rhode Island College assistant gymnastics coach, Coach Allison Silva. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you want to get started in coaching in collegiate gymnastics?
Yeah, so I started coaching actually when I was just 14 years old at my club gym where I grew up training and everything. So then being a collegiate athlete after that experience, I sort of knew that being a college coach was kind of a dream of mine and something that I'd really enjoy doing. And now it worked out, and here we are.
How was that experience like as a college athlete going to Rhode Island College and getting to compete?
Oh, it was so much fun. Being a college athlete was literally my dream ever since I was like a young gymnast. So finally getting there and being in that team atmosphere was really, really exciting and a lot of fun.
For you, what was that experience like putting on that Rhode Island uniform and representing them?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, like just the adrenaline rush of like competition day and like being with your team and everyone like getting ready in the locker room together and just the whole entire meet day experience was so much fun. And we really built such a great culture of like excitement and joy around like doing our sport. So we really enjoyed it. It was so much fun.
Throughout your collegiate gymnastics career, what have been some of the biggest accomplishments?
For my career, I spent a lot of it injured, unfortunately. But I would say being sort of a mainstay in the bars and beam lineup was probably my biggest accomplishment. And I was also able to score my career best on the bars at regionals 2 years in a row. So that was a pretty cool thing to be able to say that I did.
How is that feeling like transitioning from being an athlete to getting onto the coaching side?
Yeah, it's definitely different so far. This is my first year as a college coach. I just graduated last year. So the transition has been good. It's been fun. Of course, when you are first done with the college sport, it's a little bit hard. You're not used to having all that spare time and you're used to like waking up and thinking about your training and thinking about gymnastics and all of that stuff. But now I'm able to do that in a different way. So it's been really cool.
What was that feeling like for you coming back home to your alma mater to become a coach?
Hang on, I think the connection might have cut out for a second. Could you repeat that question?
What was that feeling like for you coming back home to your alma mater to become a coach?
It's awesome. Being able to be a college coach in general, of course, that was my dream, but being able to do it at the school that I competed for, I already have so much love for this team and so much like passion surrounding Rick Gymnastics. So being able to like exude that and like show the girls kind of like what we do here and how things go, it's been awesome.
For you, what was that transition like going from being an athlete to now being on the sidelines?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm used to sort of thinking about, of course, the team and putting the team first, but having to have a lot of stress surrounding like my own routines and just thinking about how I'm gonna, as an individual, do what I can for the team. But now I can sort of put my focus on every single girl on the team and be able to guide them to become the best athlete that they can be. So it's really exciting.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've started to help to build?
Yeah, so starting out at Rhode Island College, we were kind of a lower ranked team. We were on the rise for sure, but there were some things that we had to sort of work out and places that we needed to improve a lot if we wanted to be sort of competitive with the other Division 3 teams in the country, especially on our side in the East. So being able to sort of grow that year after year was incredible. Every year we've broken our team records since I've been here. We've broken various records on individual events, whether it's like the team score for the event or just individuals on the team being able to come up big and break the individual score records as well. So it's been it's been crazy to see how the team has grown, and that sort of excitement behind like the team just getting better and better every year has sort of like fueled the fire, and that's allowed us to like reach a potential that we every year we don't even realize we have. So
What does a typical gymnastics meet look like for you as a coach versus when you were an athlete?
So I haven't had any competitions yet as a coach, but I would imagine it's going to be a lot different. As an athlete, you sort of wake up and you try to like get in your zone and you get ready with the team and you try to like build up that excitement, again, to sort of like fuel the fire and um, just sort of set the tone for the day. But now I'm in a different position where I'm still going to be doing those things, but in a different way. I'm going to have to sort of figure out how to hype up the team and make them feel really confident and believe in themselves the best that they can so that they can perform to their like highest capability.
What does a home gymnastics meet look like at Rhode Island?
They're so much fun. We love our home meets. We get to, of course, be on our home equipment, which is always great. And the girls love to feel sort of comfortable and confident where they are able to practice 5, 6 days a week. Um, and they turn the bleachers around, so we have the crowd, and that is just an adrenaline rush in itself. I feel like year after year, as the program gets better, we have more spectators come in to watch our meets, and all of our parents and families get really excited to come support us. We have girls from all over the country on the team, so people come from really far just to watch us perform in our meets. So to be able to put on the Rhode Island College leotard and do that at home is a crazy feeling.
Who are some of the teams that you see during your competitions?
So during our competitions, we compete on the NCGA East side. So we compete against schools like SUNY Brockport, Cortland, Ithaca, Utica, Springfield College, and Ursinus. So those are sort of the schools in our conference on the east side. And then there's the NCGA, the west side. So those are, we don't really see them during the regular season, but once we make it to nationals as a team, we're hoping to be able to compete against them. And then we, of course, have meets during our regular season that we're competing against Division II and Division I schools. So that's always a great experience as well to sort of see how we stand with schools that are ranked higher than us and be able to compete in that sort of atmosphere. It kind of pushes us to be the best we can be, and we really like those meets as well.
What is that atmosphere like at home when teams like SUNY Brockport comes versus going to SUNY Brockport?
Yeah, it's exciting to have schools in our conference come to compete at our school because it gives us a chance to sort of see how we stand. The end goal is to perform the best that we can at regionals against these schools. So when they come to compete against us at home during the regular season, that's really exciting to be able to like feel that energy of, okay, where are we going to stand now and how are we going to need to get better in order to improve where we stand against them at regionals and be able to get one of those top 2 spots.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to go into gymnastics?
Yeah, so there's recruiting questionnaires online, of course, but then also just emailing the head coach, Monica. She's amazing, and she really appreciates when the recruits sort of reach out during their sophomore, junior, senior year of high school. Um, and they're able to sort of send videos and let her know where they're at in their career. And Monica can answer and sort of let them know if they seem like they'd be a good fit. And they stay in communication through email, through phone call. And then when the time is right for them to come on a visit, they can sort of come and scope it out, see how they like the school, see how they like the campus. I mean, coming to school in Providence is awesome. I think it's a great place to go to college. It's a perfect little city for college students, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone that I could. It was a great experience.
As a coach, what do you look at in those prospective student athletes when out on the road recruiting?
Yeah, we look for, of course, skill level. We prefer to recruit level 10 club gymnasts as well as like the level 9s that are really confident and have those skills. In college, the sort of rules for your routines that you do on each event are based mainly off of level 10 rules. So that's what we look for in high schoolers to sort of be at that level and building their confidence in those routines. That way, once they get here, they're ready and we can just sort of push their potential and get them as far as they can go.
As an alma mater coach, what is it like seeing those athletes fall in love with the campus and the facility of the gymnastics?
It's awesome. It's such like a full circle moment because I remember just being a freshman and being so scared to come and not really knowing what to expect and then sort of finding my way and like learning how to love the sport in the team atmosphere of college versus like the very individualistic atmosphere of club gymnastics. So being able to see them come and sort of like find their way and learn how to really thrive in the environment has been so awesome, and being able to be in a position that I can help them and sort of, I mean, everyone's different coming to college. Some people come and thrive right away. Some take a year to adjust and then they don't reach their potential towards the end. So being able to sort of look at everyone as an individual and see what's going to help them the best has been really awesome, and I love it.
Have you been able to transition from being an athlete to now coaching those athletes that you were competing with?
Yeah, it's a hard transition. I mean, being done with doing college gymnastics is really hard. Because that's your whole identity, sort of like growing up in the sport. Your identity is based off of how you perform in your sport. So having that just be over on some random day after season was over was really hard. But then, of course, graduation was really exciting. And then over the summer, staying in contact with Monica and then finally getting the job as assistant coach was honestly a dream. And I'm really excited about it.
What is that like as an alma mater coach and assistant coach getting to see those athletes put on that same leotard that you put on?
Yeah, it's again just full circle moment. We had our media day just last week. So watching them sort of wear the leotard for the first time since we've had no competitions yet. So that was their first time actually putting on the leotard and being able to take pictures and do all that stuff was just so exciting. There was joy just like literally in the air, and you could just kind of feel everyone getting really excited to sort of like really buckle down and put in the work, and the next time they put that leotard on, be ready to compete and be ready to win.
What is that like as a coach getting to see those seniors putting on that leotard for the last time?
Yeah, I'm still really close with the seniors on the team. Of course, I was on the team last year and they're just one grade below me. So you grow really close with everyone on the team, but particularly the people that are really close in age to you. So being able to see them and like experience this with them in a different role and with a different sort of like coach athlete relationship as opposed to just a teammate relationship has been really rewarding so far. And we're really enjoying it because we all at the end of the day have the same goal in mind, which is to get this team to the highest level that we can get. Um, so being able to sort of be in that role with them has been unreal so far.
As an alma mater coach, what will that feeling feel like to step onto that court for the first time as a coach?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect for the first time on sort of like the first meet day that I'm going to be a coach as opposed to being an athlete. I would imagine it's going to feel very different. And I'm still expecting to be stressed, of course, and a little bit anxious, but in a very different way. And in a way that I can sort of turn that into building up the girls and just like feeding them with positive energy and like teaching them how to sort of use their adrenaline in a positive way, in a way that's going to help them perform their best as opposed to hurting them, which is a hard balance, especially in a sport like gymnastics where it's very mental. So being in a position that I'll be able to help them with that and just sort of cheer them on the whole time without having to worry about my own routines and all of that, I think it's going to be really good. And I'm very excited for competition season to start in January.
What are some of your future plans for the Rhode Island College gymnastics program moving forward?
That's a great question. I mean, as of right now, we've only had a few weeks of practice so far, but this is by far the most talented, most dedicated team that I've seen in our program's history. So we're just really, really, really excited to sort of see what's in store. Um, we're looking great so far, and we still have a long way to go, of course. We still have pieces that we need to put together, little things here and there that we need to work on for sure. But I mean, the future is looking really bright. And if I could predict, I would assume that we're going to break a lot more records this year. And it's going to be the best year in program history for sure, based off the talent that we've seen.
What would you tell your freshman self looking back on your career now, being a coach at your alma mater?
If I could tell my freshman year self one thing, I don't think I'd be able to pick because there's a lot that I would want to tell that person. I came in very stressed, very anxious, very concerned about sort of what everybody thought about what I was doing as opposed to just doing the best I could each day. And that sort of led to me overworking myself and getting injured very easily, kind of over and over and over. I ended up getting 3 ankle surgeries because of that, because I just didn't know when to sort of stop and call it a day and give myself a little bit of grace and um, sort of be proud of myself for just how hard I was working in general. So if I could tell my freshman year self one thing, I would say to sort of calm down and enjoy the ride, enjoy every moment, and don't take a single thing for granted, because in the snap of a finger, you can just end up injured and be on the sidelines having to watch. So I think that's what I would tell her.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering their first year of college gymnastics?
My advice would be the exact thing that I just said I would tell myself as a freshman. I would tell them to be proud of the hard work that they come in and put in every day. I would tell them to give themselves grace and sort of like relax, because gymnastics is a very, very mental sport. So it doesn't take a lot to sort of work yourself up and get really sort of overworked and stressed out about how you're doing. So I would tell them to just be proud of themselves and not take a single moment for granted, because it also goes by really fast. I mean, I was on the team for 5 years and it feels like just yesterday I was that little freshman on the team. So I would tell them to just enjoy every single moment, whether they're competing all 4 events as a star all-arounder or they're working really hard to make lineup on one event. You still have a very important role on the team, and that's what we're sort of trying to teach everybody right now.
What advice would you give those college juniors transitioning into being seniors and leading the program?
Yeah, going from your junior to your senior year is definitely exciting, but it's also sort of hard because you go into it knowing that it's going to be your last year on the team. So I would tell them not to take a moment for granted. I would tell them to soak it all up and enjoy every moment and just do everything that they possibly can every single day to get just 1/10 of a point better each practice, and just keep working and working and see how far they can push their potential in their last year.
What advice would you give those college seniors looking to compete professionally in gymnastics on the Olympic stage?
Yeah, so going after college, most girls that are looking at a sort of Olympic route are those Division 1 athletes. So I've never been in a position where I've had a teammate on the Division 3 level looking to sort of go to the Olympics after. But I mean, if any of the girls were ever sort of interested in taking that route, I would tell them to just keep working really hard and refuse to give in.
What advice would you give those athletes that are looking to get into coaching gymnastics after their playing career?
Yeah, coaching I think is a great career. It's very rewarding, and I would tell them to just sort of look at their options. And there's so many different ways you can go with coaching in gymnastics. You can coach a sort of club team with levels competing 3 through 10. You could coach a high school gymnastics team. You could coach a college gymnastics team. So there's different routes you can go, and you have to sort of see what would be the best fit for you, based off of your own experience, sort of growing up in the sport and how you think you sort of interact with athletes at various levels. But I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's interested in coaching. It's been incredible so far, and I'm looking forward to continuing for a long time.
What advice would you give those coaches that are looking to coach at their alma mater like you
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I mean, I would say that that is an incredibly rewarding experience to be able to be on the other side of what you had just experienced as an athlete. And you sort of grow this like love inside for the school that you competed at, and being able to take that into your coaching career as your first year as a coach, already having that sort of like love and passion for the program and having dedicated 4 or 5 years to that team, being able to continue to do that for the same team, with girls on the team that you care about so much. And of course, I'm very close with our head coach and our other assistant coach. So just already having those relationships from my past experience has sort of set the stage for a really great first year of coaching.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the program?
Could you repeat that question? I think you cut out for a second.
Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the program?
Oh, so the program, we're mainly active on our Instagram account, which is just Rick Gymnastics. They're on Instagram. And then personally, my Instagram is ALISILVAA ___. And that's where I have a lot of gymnastics content on there already, but also going into coaching, I'm looking forward to posting more about our success as a team and my sort of experience as a first-year coach.
Thank you again, Coach Allison Silva, for your interview, and best of luck in your future at Rhode Island College as the assistant gymnastics coach.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Allison, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.